Be happy, but never satisfied.
Better than ever.
We are live in the Châteauguay for C4UC 2024 Canadian Ultimate Championship 4-on-4. My name is Etienne Fournier. I will have the immense privilege of sharing this live web stream from Châteauguay, which is just southwest of Montreal. And I will have, once again, the immense privilege of sharing the mic with the legendary Devon Asamoto.
You know what? If you keep saying it, maybe I'll feel it someday. Hi, everyone. This is Devon coming at you. We have a very exciting matchup today of a chain reaction from Durham region, so just east of Toronto, versus Team Manitoba, based out of Winnipeg, from that strong Team Manitoba, formerly MOFO out of Winnipeg. So to situate you in this tournament, we are at Nationals. It's an 8-team tournament for the juniors. So these two teams have played 2 games already. Unfortunately, both winless, going 0-2 against Quick Orange and the Prime Pandas out of BC, and Quick Orange out of Quebec City, just here on the far side. So both teams looking for their first win. Team Manitoba, they don't get to play a lot of 4s in Winnipeg, so really they're just finding their feet here each game Chain Reaction, they actually had regionals where they came second out of Ontario, losing to OJ Cup out of Ottawa, but beating the Elite Ultimate Club out of Toronto. So a lot of Toro players there. And looking to first, get their first win on the board. Ramifications is whoever gets third and fourth in the pool, and then it's an easier quarterfinal matchup for the winner of this game.
So in the meantime, flawless execution from Chain Reaction to score this first point of the game. First offense hold by the dark jerseys from Chain Reaction, while Team Manitoba are wearing the white jerseys. So we'd like to start this live webcast by thanking all the parents and volunteers making this junior championship a reality and providing all these young athletes an amazing opportunity to live a great experience at a national championship. So thank to all of you parents and volunteers, while we see Chain Reaction scoring their second consecutive point, first break point of the game.
Yeah, and shouting out the volunteers, shout out to the coaches that flew here to not just coach the juniors, but also chaperone a bit. So you have Caitlin Cho and Daniel Plord from Team Manitoba, and Chain Reaction with a whole host of coaches, prominent touring players in the Durham scene. So you have LPB and Stacy Blouin, Chrissy Baxter, Jocelyn Blasey, and especially Claire Melville and Logan Dunlop. All right, back to the action, Etienne. What is going on right now?
Manitoba with the disc at their own goal line. Nice disc movement, not allowing any time for the Chain Reaction defense to set. And here we are, another flawless execution in this game, providing Manitoba their first point. It's 2-1 for Chain Reaction.
And that was Henwood to Friesen there to put Team Manitoba up on the board for the first time. So Chain Reaction had a hot start to the game, coming out with a hold and a break now. And we'll see what happens now that both teams are a little more settled into the game.
Chain Reaction with a long pass to Weather Up, and it's being caught, even though there was a ton of pressure from those two defenders.
Yeah.
Wow, what a catch.
Yeah, you had a great toss up from Norris, but Weather Up getting huge there, going up and over the Team Manitoba defender to reel in the score for Chain Reaction. Love to see big plays like that just so early into the game.
She grabbed it with a ton of confidence, with authority, I would say, in the air. Wow. Manitoba in their own goal line. It's number 2, Friesen, feeding number 21, Hurd. Resetting, finding number 7, Zhang. Going back to Hurd. Great defense by number 11, Watson, saying, this pass ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and one thing Manitoba was doing really well there before the turn was their spacing. They weren't really too bunched up, but even that spacing let Watson catch up there.
From one Watson to another, and guess who scored? Not score, he's on the line. Watson going to another Watson. Family connection here in Châteauguay. Chain Reaction is in control, leading 4-1.
I'm going to take a hunch and say that was a brother to sister connection there.
I would bet $1 or $2 maybe on that also.
Well, you're rich,
I kind of
so
felt the family
$1 or $2
connection,
might not
but
mean
maybe I'm
much. Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows? Well, Watson to Watson to put Chain Reaction up 4-1, I believe. So, Team Manitoba, you got to execute to catch up in this game.
Pedersen. Again. Great disc movement. Great flick. That was not a bad idea from Henwood, but a little too strong, putting it out of reach of the intended receiver, Boyda. Chain at their own goal line. Forced. Flick was a great anticipation from 11 Pedersen. Scootering it. Cross field for the point. Manitoba scoring their second point, trailing by 2 early in this first half.
Yeah, Peterson doing a great job of not only getting the D, but then throwing a nice scooper to Herms there, getting Manitoba up on the board again. So we'll see how Chain Reaction responds to that. This is the same line that went where Weatherup got the big grab over there. So we'll see if she can do it again for Chain Reaction.
Kind of an isolation setup for Chain Reaction, leading to number 22, Avril, with the disc. Weatherup feeding her teammate, Norris. Oh, that was very, very tight, but still, Chain Reaction possession just got out of the end zone. Burrell dishing it for a reset. Weatherup faking it, going backwards, still in control. Pass and run. Weatherup. Oh, she opened herself along the sideline, but miscued by Chain Reaction. A break opportunity for Manitoba.
Yeah, Barrel just going, just searching for a bit too much there on the OI flick.
Manitoba midfield. Patterson feeding her teammate, Bryn. Now it's Burrell with the disc. Forced back in. Nice pass and run, but a great anticipation on the mark to shut down that window of opportunity. Break side for Manitoba, finding the space, scoring their third point of the game, making this game a 1-point game early in the first half.
Yeah.
Chain so far with 2 break points. Manitoba just scored their first break point.
Yeah, and that's what Manitoba is going to have to do to get back into this game. We'll see how Chain Reaction can respond.
Chain deep in their own, a cross-field hammer, but a little too much gas on this hammer. It landed out of bound. Manitoba with another break opportunity. Great cut by number 43, Hearns. Dishing it as a reset. Great pass and run by number 7, Zhang. But number 17, Radcliffe cannot handle that pass. But still, Manitoba will have another opportunity after this miscued by Chain Reaction.
And similar to the last junior game we watched, you see a lot of energy coming out of these juniors. Great things. Sometimes that settles into like rush throws and a little misexecution sometimes.
And according to Devon, junior are never tired. They are not allowed to be tired. Is that what you said in the first game? They are not allowed.
I did say that, young, got energy, no bills to pay. Stress-free ultimate for them. All right.
Turnover. Chain will put the disc back into play.
Yeah, we have Kentner picking it up here, driving the offense for Chain Reaction now. Great D there. Great D there by Herms.
He's having a great game so far. Having great impact on defense. There's a ton of defender. We see a zone defense, kind of a wall with a rabbit on the mark. First time we're seeing that so far in this national championship. Let's see how Manitoba reacts. Finding a thrifty blade out of their pocket to score and make this game a tie game at 4s.
Yes, if you play any type of 4 and 4 ultimate in Ontario or Quebec, you've definitely seen that 3-person wall zone where you have 3 people sitting in the end zone, 1 rabbit or person on the mark, just trying to force them to throw as many passes as possible until they become impatient and turn it over. But Herms said, you know what, I actually don't see any problem with this, and let me throw this hammer over top. And that worked out great for Team Manitoba.
Burrell with the disc. Weatherup quickly to Norris. Miscued. Great intention, but just short of the required execution. Manitoba, which has scored the last 3 points of this game, 2 consecutive break points. Will they be able to score a 3rd consecutive break point and take the lead for the first time in the game? Let's see. They're looking good. I'm pretty sure number 13 from Manitoba, Davis, would like to see that pass back. Weather up. Was that caught in? Yes, it was. Chain Reaction responding very well by taking the lead
Avril
back in the game.
Yeah, Avril to Weather up there. Just a simple little push pass into the front corner of the end zone to put Chain Reaction back up in this game. But it looks like we have a tight match up on our hands, which is makes it even more fun to commentate, right?
There is a ton of energy outpouring from this field right now. We can feel it. We can feel it. Manitoba going break side. Great pass and run by Pedersen. Threatening for Scuba, but goes flick with a pass and run. Great disc movement. Finding the hole in Chain Reaction defense. Making this game a Taiwan once again, but this time at 5s.
And that was Burrell to Peterson there. And you just saw the speed of Manitoba there. There were just so many short passes in such a quick succession of time. Very difficult to guard.
No hesitation. They just passed and bust.
And it looks like you see Chain Reaction coming up with this typical O-line for them. You've seen the group of Weatherall, Barrel, Avril, and Norris here on the O points. And it works again. They get another hold, but can you tell us what happened in that exciting point?
I'm searching for my words, but Weatherall just scoobering it with a great vertical from her teammate Watson. I just love, like, I don't know, the body language of Weatherall. She just plays with such authority and confidence. Like, she had no hesitation. I need to scuba it. I'm going to scuba it.
Yeah, you do love to see that confidence from these junior players because, you know, they're the best players in their program. They're the best players in their region. They should be confident for the amount of reps they get.
Great grab by number 2. Was that caught in? Princess Eisen. And yes, it's confirmed. So Chain Reaction scoring once again. What a game are we attending? We are at National Championship in Châteauguay, just southwest of Montreal. 2024 4-on-4 National Championship. We are attending a junior division matchup in the pool play, featuring Chain Reaction from Ontario in the dark jerseys versus Team Manitoba in the white jerseys. Was partially blocked, I believe, on the mark. Chain Reaction with a potential ball, but great defense, but there was a foul call. There was some bumping.
And a quick contest there from number 7, Zhang from Manitoba, saying that he didn't think he really impeded Averill from catching that disc. So back to play here. And again, you see Weather up again, like one of the top goal scorers for this Chain Reaction team, and it's working.
Momentum is all about Chain Reaction. They have scored the last 3 points in the game. We were tied at 5 a couple of minutes ago, and I would say the 5 for Chain.
Yeah, and that's just been a couple short field turnovers for Manitoba, turning it over very early on in their point, and Chain Reaction wasting no time there to capitalize.
Ultimate is a sport of transition. 1 second you're on offense, the second after you're on defense. The way you will manage those transitions. What a grab by number 24. Is it Bryn?
Yeah, that was Friesen to Bryn Martin there. Martin, one of the returners from last year's Nationals with Team Manitoba. So looking to lean on her and Peterson as a, their quest for a national title. But yeah, great snag there. A little trailing edge grab. She went around the disc because it's a little easier to catch it at that point in the flight motion. So very textbook grab there.
It's easier to grab, but it might sound counterintuitive because if you go with the left hand, it will be like, it might look easier, but the disc will roll out of your hand.
Yeah, it'll bounce out of your hand.
Weather up with the disc. Resetting to Norris. Weather up. again. No, she's just on the line. Putting the disc back into play, looking for a reset. Norris, but scoobers it to Burrell. It seems like the first option for Withering Up is Scuba.
Yeah, and like we said earlier in the other game, we're indoors. There's no wind to affect these throws. So why not see some really bladey throws? Why not see some upside down shots? That's a little more unconventional outside, but very perfectly it's equivalent to a backhand inside.
Manitoba going long, floating, but we've attempted a greatest, but there was no receiver. It was quite a challenge.
Yeah, greatest attempt there from Peterson, but just a little too far and high for him to reel that in.
Oh, there was just enough defense on there to put the disc out of control of the intended receiver, Peterson. Now with the disc, kind of a poachy defense from Dunlop. Zhang flicking it to number 2. Friesen and quickly Peterson converts Manitoba's 7th point. So it's a 2-point game. It is tight, ladies and gentlemen.
Very, very tight. It's gonna come down to a couple points at the end of this, I'm sure, or the first team to make consecutive errors. So quick reaction here with the classic 4-person O-line coming up, and we'll see how this goes for them.
Isolation, setup play. Avril with the disc, flicking it, floating. Norris, but no, guess who's there? As a backup, Weather Up, saving the disc, providing Chain their 10th point. It's a 3-point lead for the dark jerseys.
Yeah, you see Norris there getting bailed out a bit by her teammate Weather Up, but who else's hands would you want under the disc after a little misread of the jump?
We are in the 17th minute of this first half. The game is intended to be 50 minutes. There will be a halftime call about midway. Great bid by number 2, Eichson. But she just fell a little short, but still, wow. Great effort by both of these junior squads. Resetting to Pedersen. Pass and run. Pedersen's gone, grabs it, one hand, scoobers it. Crossfield for Manitoba's 8th point.
That was a very
hanging
exciting
there by 2 points.
Very exciting point for Peterson there. Like a big sky to keep it in bounds, and then a cool scoober. You're seeing a lot of scoobers from these juniors. What do you think about that, Etienne?
I mean, the confidence they're displaying in their skills. I mean, they practice it. To put it in a game situation like that, I mean, it's just about practicing and committing to the game, and there's no bad throws. The only bad throws is the one that are not completed, I believe. So
I like that. Bad throws are the ones that aren't completed. Good throws get caught at the end.
Absolutely. Burrell to guess who? Weatherhop just making the end zone. I don't know, her bedroom, her living room, her house. That's her place.
Yeah, Team Manitoba is going to really have to find a solution from that because right now she's getting open at will, especially in the end zone. So she's got to do something to force her out of the end zone. Maybe force her to become a thrower. Get her the disc under and make her to make some shots. But as she's proven already, she's pretty competent with those scoobers and pretty cool with the disc. Another scoober there to start the point.
Pedersen. It seems like he forgot to do a backhand. He only does a scoober so far. But great defense by Chain reaction.
Yeah, this is something we haven't noted throughout the game, but the defensive pressure from Chain reaction throughout every single pass here is starting to wear on Team Manitoba. You saw Ike-san with the missed bid, but so many more Ds there.
Eichson with a great cut in. Feeding Keitner. Now it's Watson. Eichson, was she in? She's wondering, not sure. There's still some discussion by her acting. I believe she claims she's in, but she says, okay, well, maybe I'm on the line. Okay, whatever. Put the disc back into play. Dishing it back to Watson. looking for answers. Tons of traffic in the end zone. Great little push pass to Eisen. On the doorstep of a point, faking the scuba. Tons of traffic. Congestion. It's rush hour near the end zone, but number 3, Nicholas Keitner, will say, okay, guys, give me the disc. Here's our 12th point of the game. Dark jerseys leading by 4.
Yeah, nice, good start from Chain Reaction here. And it's really good for these teams to get close games at Nationals because that's what you come here for. You don't come here to get blown out or to blow out a team. You want close games that put some stress on you, force you to learn, force you to get a little better, think more creatively, and that's where the real growth in juniors comes from.
Manitoba with the disc. Going sideways. Hammers floating, but blocked by Keitner, who had a height advantage over Zhang. But Weather Up cannot handle that disc. Manitoba's 5 yards away from the end zone. Great block by Norris, denying that point in the end zone block. Norris taking the disc back. Squeeze in the corner. Weather Up. One hand. Was that cut inbound? Yes, it was. Dishing it, but Pedersen denies it. But I believe, was that cut in? Maybe not. Still, great one-hand grab by Weather Up. Tons of pressure along the sideline, but that was caught out of bound. Chain Reaction back with the disc. Nice little dish to Norris. Norris looking for Weather Cup, but very well defended by number 43, Hearns. Turnover. Manitoba. We are at the end of this first half. Whenever we hear the horn, the point ends. Now it's 17. Radcliffe. Great reading, great anticipation by Chain Reaction midfield. Ambitious step in for the point, but it was still short. But there's a call. Was that a pick call?
So what's happening here is I believe number 21 on Manitoba, Hurd, is calling a travel on Avril, saying he caught the disc when his 2 feet were on the ground and then jumped after. So just clearing that up and saying he needs to start back there. But again, same result.
Resolved.
Yeah, Norris catching the goal.
Chain Reaction taking a 5-point lead late in this first half, 13-8. 21 points have been scored in about 20, 24, 23 minutes. That just give you a pace of how intense is that junior game. Pedersen feeding Friesen, and we just hear the horn signaling the end of this first half. Chain Reaction from Ontario leading 13-8 against Team Manitoba wearing the white jerseys. So Devon, to say there was a ton of action in this first half will be a clear understatement.
Oh my goodness.
Your impression?
Such an exciting.
Where do we start?
I think you start with this Chain Reaction O-line. Yeah, we can just take a seat here. I think you start with this Chain Reaction O-line here. A very consistent group of 4 there. And you see one of their main stars, Weather Up, just, one of the things that drive the offense there. And then on the flip side for Chain Reaction, another thing they're doing really well is their defensive pressure. They're not letting Manitoba just run really far away from them. They're staying really tight to their person, causing a lot of these Manitoba turnovers from either putting it too close so Chain Reaction gets the D or forcing them to lead it too far from their teammates, again, that defensive pressure. And one thing that Manitoba has done really well is sometimes they play with a lot of pace, and that has really helped them, making it harder for those, Chain Reaction defenders to tighten it up. So you saw a couple points there where it was just give, go, like you mentioned, no hesitation there. So you love to see more of that. And then I think something to take out for the second half for Manitoba is just a little more execution, right? Chain Reaction is putting in a lot of that defensive pressure, but you can't let that scare you. You still have to hit your open under shots. You still have to make smart choices with throws within your range, and you still have to just like keep that intensity and that pressure on defense. You've seen Weather Up get free a little too much in the end zone. Start to shut her down, start to figure out ways to make things life harder for her. And those are some keys to focus on from this first half.
I mean, I believe that, as you mentioned, Manitoba, just like it's about the execution. They are there, but it's just giving away the disc, and Chain Reaction really took advantage of that. They were able to like punish Manitoba for their mistake. So, and we see like the 5-point differential so far. So, looking forward for an exciting second half. And one thing I would like to mention, Devon, is how impressive is the Manitoba Ultimate community, considering you're based out of Winnipeg. The closest tournament is 12-hour drive away, but still, every Canadian championship, you can rest assured that Winnipeg or Manitoba squads are always in the top tier team, whatever the category. I don't know what's in the water in Winnipeg. What are they drinking? Why do they do that? But it's an impressive ultimate community they have out there, and I just think it really worth mentioning.
Well, you mentioned that one of the challenges Manitoba has is that they are so far away from nearest competition, but then that becomes a strength because it means that everyone in the community has to play together. They're forced to play together, and then when they play together for so long, it just breeds more competition, and they're able to get better together. It's not like living in Toronto where you can go play with 5 different teams. Like, you're playing for that one club team, and you have to make that one club team as good as it can be if you want to get a fruitful ultimate experience. So, yes, they are far away, but that just breeds a hyper-competitive atmosphere in Winnipeg. Like you say, like they have one open team, General Strike, that's been a national competitor, just came second at nationals. Fusion's been on top of the scene. PBHG has been in mixed semifinals for years in a row. So, yes, they're isolated, but so many good players in one place, and you have to play in one area, if that makes sense.
So, huge kudos to all the Manitoba Ultimate community, all the volunteering, the coach, the athletes, for such a great representation of their city and their province. Speaking of which, Watson going horizontal to block that disc. What a game is he having?
Starting the second half the way they started the first half. Just big plays.
And speaking, Pedersen just stealing away the disc from Watson.
A little 11-on-11 number battle here between Peterson and Watson. I'd love to see what comes out of it. They both seem like very good athletic defenders, and a matchup to watch out for.
Looking for a hammer, holding it back. Was that caught in? It seems yes. Pedersen providing Manitoba the first point of this second half, making this game a 4-point game.
Watson doing a little shuttle run there to get the watch he threw off. All right, and Chain Reaction sticking with this side stack initiation. So they're going to have Weather Up in the lane just isolated. And let's see if Norris can hit her for a quick score like they have in the past.
Barrel opening himself up for Norris. Norris attacking the line, but Barrel looking for a reset. Weather Up making herself a great target. Backends it to Norris. Great chemistry between these two amazing players, Norris and Weather Up.
Yeah,
Chain scoring their first point of this second half.
Another thing I want to mention is Chain Reaction on this O-line specifically is doing a great job of giving space for everybody. So it's not just, the boys throwing to the boys or the girls throwing to the girls like you just saw there, but truly all of them are working together as a 4-person unit, and that's why they've been so successful throughout this game.
Pedersen will put the disc back into play with a square setup play. Attacking up the line, going break side, feeding number 13, Davis. Now it's 43 Hearns. A great block by Chain Reaction, number 17, Cassirer. Dunlop was the intended receiver, but the pass was a little too low. Manitoba. Pedersen going horizontal to save the day. And number 43, Hearns responding also. catching the disc just out of the end zone. Wow. It's a chain reaction of layup.
Oh, yeah.
Can I say that?
I think you can. And Peterson, just so close there. Oh, and you hate to see that, after two big layouts there just ending in a turnover. But great energy, great effort shown from Peterson and Herms there coming through.
And speaking of layouts, number 5, Boyda, just blocking the disc, but no, was that caught?
So it looks like
it seems it will be a chain reaction possession. Maybe there was a foul.
Yeah, it looks
call.
like Dylan had the disc and said Boyda stripped it with that layout. So calling that strip there uncontested, but a turnover nonetheless. So Peterson picking up for Team Manitoba and seeing if they can get this hold.
Davis along the sideline. Pedersen. Great, sweet backhand to find number 5. Now Boyda, Manitoba scoring their 10th point. Still hanging on. 4 points trailing to chain reaction.
Yeah, they've been going pretty much point for point for the last little bit. You've seen this little 4 or 5 point gap. Let's see if Manitoba can get a stop here on this chain reaction O-line. Stop Weatherup, stop Norris from just running whatever they want, and punching a break.
Manitoba so far has scored 2 break points, while Chain has scored 5. Weatherup on the doorstep with the high release pass that was blocked by number 2. Great anticipation, great reading by Friesen. Manitoba, Ratcliffe with the disc, feeding Burrell. Burrell miscuing or partially blocked by Burrell.
And see what chain reaction's doing right here, just isolating Weatherup. I think Averill's just dragging his person into the lane there, but trying to space it out for each other.
Great vertical going high, but it was a pick call.
And the pick stealing Burrell's, happiness for that grab. But great grab, great elevation. And
wow.
Yeah, let's see if he can do it again.
It was Aldi by himself, but still, nonetheless, it was a great vertical. Norris with the disc. She says, well, let's repeat that. I'll put the disc in the air, and Burrell will go get it.
Yeah, Norris said, you know what? I think we can just run the same play again. So Team Manitoba had a couple chances there. Fortunately, didn't execute, but great feeling to get a turn, and that's how these breaks happen. It's just defensive pressure building up.
Pedersen will put the disc back into play. What a game is he having. Zhang opening himself up. A great block by chain reaction. We're playing along the sideline. There's not much room into that corridor, which gives room to the defenders to block it. Watson from one Watson to another. Caught on the line by number 3, Kentner. Now it's Watson. Eisen. One player in the end zone. Being patient. Chain reaction. Holding it back. Put the disc into space to Watson, but just out of reach.
Sibling connection just a little too short for this one.
Maybe sister will have a chat with the brother. Say, hey, can you make your pass, just inside the field, please? Another brother to sister, assuming they're brothers and sisters.
We're making a big assumption here, but back to the play here. You see Zhang and Peterson working together in the backfield. And then that connection just working out a little quick give and go with that 7 cut there.
Pedersen grabbing the disc. Manitoba hangs on, trailing by 4. We are in the second half of this pool play game featuring Team Manitoba against Chain Reaction based out of Ontario. Norris putting the disc back into play. Forced flick. Weatherup on the sideline. Looking for an opportunity. Scoobers it. without any hesitation. Great pass. Weather up. Wanted to catch that disc with one hand, but the disc just rolled out.
Yeah, and Weatherup's been so solid in the end zone. I'm sure she'll get this one back for the team. But giving Manitoba a chance for a precious break and to close this gap. But again, the defensive pressure from chain reaction not letting them have much room to breathe there.
So there's a jump from Burrell. Landing in the end zone confirmed by the Manitoba players. So that will be a break point, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's a hold from...
oh, you're right. That was the O-line. You are right, Devin. 16-11. The team from Ontario in the driver's seat so far.
Yes. And this definitely must be a great feeling for the chain reaction team after having, two losses to start the tournament. But big shot here from Burrell to Peterson to get Manitoba back in the game.
How much do you love that one pass point?
You gotta love it a lot because it just shows trust on that deep strike and the throwing ability from throwers like Burrell to get the team back in the game. And it looks like that same line is staying on, at least Burrell and Peterson. And we'll see if they can disrupt this chain reaction O-line.
Especially when you're trailing, you want your offense to score quickly and allow your defense to put pressure on the opposite team O-line. But so far, chain reaction O-line has been very impressive. Weather up with the disc, giving some direction to her teammate. Still pressure, but hey, what do you do when you're under pressure? You just scuba it on the break side. Wow.
Gross grab by Barrel there, making it look easy when Weatherup hasn't given him the easiest shots to bring down, but his teammates clearly know the type of receiver he is, and that's why he keeps getting highlight reel catches like that.
Get up, brush your teeth, and scuba it across the field. I mean, it's part of our routine. Manitoba hammer across the field, but landing out of bounds. Going for the big plays on the Manitoba squad. They are trailing by 5.
Yeah, and that's the second big throw we've seen off an initiation. So it might be a coaching tactic to get them back into the game a little quicker, and maybe chain reaction taking a page out of that book too. Just out the back to out the back throw.
Earn with the disc. A great ID to reach out for number 5, Boyda on the break side, but it's a turnover. Dunlop will put the disc back into play. Great mark by Manitoba. Throwing into traffic. Counter by, number 21. Her just landing hard, but securing the pass. Wow. What a catch.
Big boost for Manitoba. It's big plays like that are going to get you back in the game, get the team hype. And let's see more of that. Let's see some layout Ds. Let's see some more good throws. And I think a little confusion, Manitoba forgetting that they're on defense. Peterson looking like he wanted to go pick up the disc.
He really wants a disc, but you can't do that. It's the other team's teams. You got to leave it. This is out of bounds.
Yeah,
I think
Norris's
it's El
throw.
Piblouet, the coach from Chain Reaction, who got the block.
You do hate the sideline getting in the way of that. And it looks like the players are just discussing where the disc should go back in. So the disc should be going back in at the point that it went out of bounds, not necessarily the point where it hit the coach, but it looks like those are the same thing. So Manitoba out here with a chance to break.
Zhang to Pedersen, but intercepted by Norris. Great catch by Burrell. Dishing it back to Norris. See how composed she is with the disc, just scanning the field, looking for opportunities, offering herself open as a reset, really making sure this O-line is steady. Weather up. If she's gonna, let's expect a scuba. No, she's going back in.
Yeah, you see her just directing traffic there, making a lot of cuts to try to get open, but it looks like she's letting Beryl get some of the shine here.
Great disc movement, great timing, great anticipation. Still Norris acting as as the foundation. She has such she's very steady, very composed with the disc. I just love that chain reaction O-line.
Yeah, you definitely see Norris picking up the disc most of the time, starting the play.
Yeah.
They clearly have defined roles as her, that center handler, and then you have Weatherup and Barrow making a lot of the big grabs in the end zone. So seems like a perfect group here, and hopefully it takes them a little farther throughout the tournament.
We are witnessing a ultimate masterclass in this junior division. Even though there's a few miscues, we see great execution and great skill set by both of these junior teams. So kudos to all the coaching staff also doing an amazing job here at this national championship.
Yeah, and I think especially for the chain reaction side, this isn't something that happens overnight, right? Like these coaches have been building this junior program for the last few seasons. You have LP and Stacy Blouin, Chrissy Baxter. I know James Goff isn't here, but he goes by Jimmer. He's also been helping a lot with the juniors. So little continuities like that help you build programs in chemistry like this. So we do have to shout out to the coaches and the people who help build junior ultimate in these communities around the country.
Less than 10 minutes remains to this game. 5 points lead by chain reaction. Watson tiptoeing it. Was that in or on the line? And line in ultimate is out. Unlike tennis, the line is in.
Yeah. Tennis, you definitely do try to hit the line. Ultimate, the line is out. Even
Just
a
like
little
football.
toe. Yeah. A little contest, just going back, and chain reaction back with another opportunity to break.
Watson faking, but dishing it to the Watson, wearing number 12.
So,
Cedar Watson.
Etienne, do you have siblings?
Yes, I do.
Do you play ultimate with them ever?
No.
Do you think you'd like it?
Well, I don't think they. I will. Maybe they would like if I play with them, but I don't think they would appreciate me playing with them.
Oh, would you yell at them?
Probably.
What do you think's happening in this Watson to Watson whenever her brother turns it over to her?
I think they will have a discussion.
And it looks
But
like
still,
it worked out right there,
great
the
connection.
Watson to Watson connection.
Probably Cedar saying, "Finally."
Finally, you did your job. Finally, you were throwing out, that competitive sibling rivalry. But it must be a joy to play with them, right?
For sure. Of course, we're teasing them, but what a great Watson they had. Both of them had an amazing game so far. While
Yes.
we're entering the last few minutes of this second half, 43 minutes are behind us. The game will end at the 50th minute. Whenever we hear the horn, the game ends, unless it's a tie game.
Yeah, you saw Henwood just go a little too far for that throw to Peterson. And then, boom, the connection barrel to Weatherup to put chain reaction up by 7 now with only less than 7 minutes left in the game.
Barrel, he just loves to jump and catch those discs. And he had so far an impressive performance going airborne in this game. And when he hasn't received a pass from Weathercup, he's feeding Weathercup, Weatherup with the point. So
you definitely see a lot of chemistry with that O-line. And Ikeson getting another block here for chain reaction. Chain reaction just piling up the Ds now, just even as this game's coming to a close.
Melville. Flick to Ikeson. Great read by number 2, providing chain reaction their 21st point of the game. They are now leading by 8.
Nice
late
bookends.
In the second half.
Nice bookends there. You see her getting the D and then getting the score, getting free in the end zone. Great game. Obviously, it's not over, but great game that chain reaction has put together. Strong offensive line unit and strong D-line unit that can get blocks and help hold them in the game.
Burrell. Now Pedersen. Burrell again along the sideline.
Yeah, you have a Barrel and Burrell matchup here. Pretty interesting with the similar last name battle.
Floaty disc. Was that caught in? I believe so.
Yeah.
Point, Manitoba. With a great reading by Burrell. Pearson was there also, but nonetheless, Burrell landing with the disc.
Yeah, great OI flick there from Herms. One of those throws that you might not see outside because the wind would take it, but perfectly fine indoor, just up, down, and going straight to Barrel.
While we're getting closer to the end of this webcast, our next assignment will be at 2:30 Eastern Time in the senior division, where a team representative from Northwest Territory, Northern Conspiracy, will match up against a team from Newfoundland. Little Joe.
Yeah. Doing some research from around the complex, you see Little Joe is basically comprised of the graduates of the NL Storm program. So everyone on the team in the age range of 18 to 21. So you have a little young kids group there, and versus Northern Conspiracy from the Northwest Territories. So should be a fun little matchup. And I won't have the fortune to be on the stream, but you and Rose will.
We will for sure share this live web stream with all of you attending. And this is our first of 2 days covering this national championship. There will be 4 games also tomorrow. So look forward into the Facebook of Ultimate Canada for the precise schedule. But expect some semifinal and some finals to be played. Of course, we don't know the teams yet, but looking forward for very exciting games tomorrow.
Yeah, and that was a really nice throw there by the Manitoba player. Zhang, it was floaty enough that Zhang was able to just run around everybody and get into the end zone and catch it. So clearly Manitoba showing some signs of greatness here, some signs that they can compete and they can score against these top teams in the province, or sorry, in the country.
Less than 3 minutes remaining in the game. 7-point differential. Mathematically possible for Manitoba to recover, but very, very challenging. Pedersen with the disc, flicking it to Burrell. Oh, could not control the disc. Turnover in favor of Chain Reaction. Melville flicking it high, but great vertical by Pedersen, denying this pass.
Yeah, and Pearson showing no quit right now, just still getting those Ds, still working hard for Manitoba.
Great around pass by Pedersen. Flicking it across the field, but unfortunately, Hearns could not get a hands on the disc. Kind of rolled out of her hand.
Yeah, and that was a nice shot there from Radcliffe to try to get it to Herms, but she just couldn't reel it in there.
Melvin to Eichson. Last 90 seconds of this game. Melville again. Great pivot work. Resetting it right in the middle. Dunlop now. Feeding Eichson. There's a call that she might have caught it on the line, and a line is out. So, but not much arguments here. Quickly resolved. Kasserer looking for a break pass, but well marked by Pedersen. But Eichson now opening herself up on the open side to give Chain Reaction their 23rd point, leading by 8.
Yeah, and
with
that was
only a few seconds to go.
Yeah, that was a great point there from Kessere. You saw him miss a couple shots a little too deep and just, finding the touch, finding that love to let it float to the end zone for his teammates.
Here we are, the signal for the end of this second half. Chain Reaction from Ontario winning the game 23-15 against Team Manitoba in what has been an incredible game. Tons of action, layouts, bids on offense, on defense, great passes. How many scoobers? Countless scoobers. and a great display of a ton of those very, very talented players. So your impression in conclusion, Devin, on this game?
A great win from Chain Reaction. A bit biased here being an alumni of this program, but very happy for them. They're going to be 1-2 in pool play. Maybe not the start to the tournament they hoped for, but they're still alive. They're going to have quarterfinals tomorrow against the second seed out of the other pool. So great win for them, getting on the board, getting a confidence booster. And now they get some film on themselves that they can go watch to see where they can make some improvements. And for Team Manitoba, 0-3 today, but a lot of learning, a lot of growth. Like the coaches said, they're really just here. A lot of them, it's their first Force tournament. They do get to play with each other out in Winnipeg, but first Force tournament, so they're just getting to play against a lot of people, and hopefully they can bring some of that knowledge tomorrow into the bracket and see what happens. Because like we've seen time and time again with juniors, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. We're at the Canadian Ultimate Championship 4-on-4 in Châteauguay in the province of Quebec. Thank you, Devin, for all your such valuable comments throughout this game, and thanks for the both of the team for providing such an exciting game. My name is Etienne Follier. I was your host for this game. Our next assignment will be in about an hour, 10 minutes from now, where we'll attend a senior division game featuring Northern Conspiracy from Northwest Territory against Lil Joe from Newfoundland. So see you in about an hour. We'll take a